Good morning. My name is Jerry, and welcome to Bread and Breath Devotional, a daily moment to slow down, breathe, and hear what God might be saying today. Let's feed our spirit before the world feeds us the stress. Family, today we are in Exodus 14. And this passage shows us a moment where God's people were led into what looked like a trap. The children of Israel had just been delivered from Egypt. God brought them out with power, miracles, and favor. But now, instead of leading them into an easy path, God leads them to the edge of the Red Sea with Pharaoh's army behind them. Verse 1 through 2 shows that this was not an accident. God told Moses exactly where to camp. This means they were not lost. They were exactly where God told them to be. And that's important because sometimes you can be in a hard place and still be in God's will. We often think that if God is leading us, everything should be smooth. But this passage shows us that God can lead you into a situation that feels uncomfortable, confusing, and even overwhelming. In verses 3 through 4, God says something powerful. He says, Pharaoh will think the people are trapped. And then God says, I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and I will be honored upon Pharaoh. This means God allowed the situation to look impossible on purpose. Why? Because he was about to reveal his power in a way they had never seen before. Sometimes God will allow pressure not to destroy you, but to display his glory through you. Then in verse 8, Pharaoh begins to chase them. The same enemy God brought them out of is now coming after them again. And that's how it can feel in life sometimes. You prayed, you repented, you tried to change, you started moving forward. But then the same struggle, the same temptation, or the same pressure comes chasing you again. And in verse 10, when people saw Pharaoh coming, they were afraid. Fear will always try to show up when the situation looks bigger than you. They cried out to the Lord, but they turned to Moses and started complaining. They said, because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? In other words, they started wishing they had never left. And this is something we have to be careful of. When pressure hits, don't start looking back at what God already delivered you from. Don't romanticize your past just because your present feels uncomfortable. Egypt represented bondage, but in fear, they started acting like bondage was better than trusting God in uncertainty. Then Moses responded in verse 13, and his words were powerful. He says, fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord. He gives them 3 instructions. Fear not, don't let fear control you. Stand still, stop panicking, and try to fix everything yourself. See the salvation of the Lord. Watch what God is about to do. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is nothing. We want to move. We want to react. We want to fix it. We want to escape the pressure. But there are moments where God says, be still and trust me. Then he says, the Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. That means the battle they were afraid of was not theirs to fight. And that's a word for somebody today. You're stressing over something God never told you to carry. You're trying to fight a battle that belongs to him. God didn't bring them out of Egypt to let them be destroyed by Pharaoh. He brought them out to bring them through. And the same is true for you. God didn't bring you this far to leave you in the middle. He didn't deliver you just for you to go back. He didn't call you just for you to quit under pressure. If he led you here, he will make a way here. If he led you here, he will make a way here. And this passage reminds us, you can be in the right place and still feel pressure. You can be walking with God and still face fear. You can be delivered and still feel pursued. But none of that changes who said God is. When the enemy is behind you and the sea is in front of you, that's not the end. That's the setup. Because God specializes in making ways where there are no ways. Because God specializes in making ways when there are no ways. So today, if you feel trapped, don't panic. If you feel overwhelmed, don't go back. If you feel afraid, don't give up. Fear not, stand still, and watch what God is about to do. Because the Lord will fight for you, and you will come out on the other side. Bread and breath. If this blessed you, please like, share, and subscribe, and share this with someone who needs peace today. Be blessed, family.